Share so this we get live. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for joining the Sip and Tea podcast with myself, Miss Ebony Evo. We got the magnificent Mike, and we
Ma-
also got
oh, he
the
said
Mad Hatter.
that's your new name, Mike. Magnificent.
Ebo is so low I couldn't hear what she said.
She said
Okay.
magnificent, Mike.
Magnificent. Oh, I don't know how many people agree with that, but okay, I'll take it.
Hush, fool.
I like it. I like it though. And you got the glasses on too, so
Yeah, I'm educated this year.
so this season you educate. What was you last season?
Last season I was just being ratchet.
Oh, you.
Yeah, being controversial, being ratchet. I'm educated this year. Just for this season, then I'm gonna go back on being ratchet next season.
No, we trying to stay not ratchet. We trying, Mike. I'm the ratchet one. You can't be like that.
No, Reeb is the one that keep everything on par. Woosah.
Hey y'all, whoever is watching, thank you for joining. We're just trying to get a couple more people in here. Want to check on now everybody's mental health tonight. We got a special guest, Al, joining in. He works in mental health, so any questions anybody got, it's gonna be a really, really good show. He's gonna come on in at about 8:15. You know how we about to do? We about to get straight into the power recap. Listen, this is the best episode of the season. I'm super like it was so. Listen, everybody has something to fuck going
Let me
on.
take
Hey,
these off.
Denise, how you doing, baby? Come on in, share. We got a good show tonight. Then we're gonna
Tell
talk
me,
about mental health.
tell me about
Yeah,
Effie. Did I call it or did I call it?
I still don't know if Lauren did though. That's the thing. It's like I don't know if Lauren did. We all know.
The way old girl was looking when she came in
When
that
she got to
bed,
bed with Teresa, it was looking like she looked like
she was
she
looking
looked kind of
like
Look,
worried. She like she did something.
everybody has something so special going on. Reed, but he said, can you see this? Okay, can everybody see the Cause she and he's talking to you, Reed. Do you see the words? Do you see the comments?
What she say?
You got it. Say on in the right hand corner. It say private chat comments. You can see the
Yeah,
you can see the comments.
comment.
Hit comment.
I drink up this choice tonight, you guys. It's the trial. So yeah, so Tariq got the plug by the neck. He got Mecca by the neck right now. Mecca can't do nothing. I love you too, Anise. Neck, did you watch Power Anise? Because baby Tariq got Mecca by the neck. He can't do nothing. Like y'all keep forgetting that nigga is Tasha and Go's son.
I'm telling you, listen. Mecca is. I'm going on limit. Said Mecca is gone next episode.
Facts.
I don't think Mecca. I don't know. Listen,
I
but
think
it
they
makes
should
sense.
set
Hey,
Mecca up.
Toya. Hey, Toya.
Sis, what
No,
up?
you
I can't
gotta
see no
watch these. You
comments.
gotta watch Power Move.
I can't see no comments. You can't put the comments up on here?
Yeah, all you got to do is over in that corner. It says private chat comments.
Are you on your
All you do is
phone or
hit
are you on
comments.
your
I'm on my phone.
That's probably why.
Oh, well, let me try. Well, I was gonna say let me try to log in on my phone and see.
Nah, that's good.
But hey, this was I have to give it to her. This was the
Babe,
best
this was it.
that I done
It was
seen out of all of them from this season and last season.
This
This
episode.
and I thought we had some great episodes this season. But this episode here, the writer of this episode did the damn thing with this one. They got caned by the balls. The fucking police got caned by the ball. I'm really wondering, is Brandon gonna turn to be a little Tommy? Is he gonna be a little snitch next week of court?
Oh, but you saw. Oh, you didn't see the previews for next week.
I said Brandon. I said I wondered, is Brandon gonna be a little Tommy in court? Is he gonna be a little bitch in court? Like, is they gonna make them like that Tommy Ghost dynamic? Because you don't know which way Brandon gonna go in court.
Man, I think this was the
I'm
best
sorry,
episode.
Toya. We gotta talk about it. She talking about some. Don't talk about it.
She ain't seen it.
Girl, I'm sorry, Toya, honey, baby.
Wait a minute, you ain't see. Wait a minute. It came on. It came on Sunday
and he
morning.
banging everybody. Tyreek is his daddy's son. He hitting everybody.
Right. Hey, now, did you see how they teased with his sister being with that adopted family? They never showed their faces.
Right.
Yes, they did. They did kind of. It was a black man and a lady. You can see
it was
a black
couple.
couple.
But you never could see. It was a black couple, but you could never
But
see
it
their
wasn't
faces.
ghost. I don't think it was
look.
ghost.
I knew it was ghost. I was looking like, wait a minute, is they
It
gonna show
wasn't ghost or that lady. It wasn't
somebody? Only face you saw was hers.
Right, and she looked
It
uncomfortable. She looked
She
real
did.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But how they turned what's name into a snitch though? Back in the snitch, and he the one snitched on Lobos. And Lobos was looking for him, and Ghost killed Lobos before he could get to him.
Yeah.
And I tell your daddy thank you when you go to hell, nigga.
Yeah, when you see your daddy here, tell him I said thanks.
And I think in the preview, he telling Kane, you ain't gonna never be the same. I think he telling Kane, nigga, after you kill your daddy, you ain't never gonna be the same. I think that is what he is saying to him about killing his daddy. Hey y'all, thanks for everybody that's tuned in. We do have a really good show tonight. I'm waiting on. Oh, here go my other guest. He is here. He has joined the stream. Hey Al, can you hear us?
Yep.
Al, can you hear us?
Yes.
Barely can see you.
Hear us?
Yes, I can.
Can you see us?
Yeah.
Okay, we can see you. All right, y'all, but this is our guest, Al. I told y'all he was going to be joining in. Here's our special guest. He works in mental health. So, if you got any questions or whatever, we're going to talk. I have a lot of friends lately that have lost loved ones, parents, children, and I know it's got to be stressed. I know it is because it's not losing that. My mental sometimes be crazy. So, just want to touch base to see how everybody's doing. And I'm going to hand it over to Reem and Al. Reem, any questions you want to start off with?
What up, though, Al?
What up, though?
How you doing?
I'm trying to, I'm about to switch rooms. I'll try anyway. I know it's dark. So y'all gotta excuse me. I don't have no lamp. I'm cold.
Oh, okay. But, what I want to ask you, Al, what kind of work you do in mental health? Are you a mentor or a counselor?
Yeah, I'm a case manager. I case manage for developmentally disabled adults. They are all in like group homes.
Okay.
And I coordinate their appointments. Make sure they get to their doctor's appointments. Make sure they being well kept in the group home. I'm like their advocate. Pretty much encompasses what I, how I, when my capacity rather.
Oh, okay. So by doing all that, is it a day that people that you deal with on a daily basis, do they go in for counseling if they having a bad day, they feel stressed out or anything?
I'm the go between. So the hierarchy is peer support. The peer support specialists are people that's just like them, that they have developmentally disabled. They're developmentally disabled, and they some you have it's a wide. When you say developmentally disabled, it could be somebody that's able to speak and they may have they may be able to talk to you and me like the same way I'm talking to you. They may be able to talk to you the same way, and then as far as then you might have someone who can't speak at all. It's like it's a wide margin when you talk about somebody that's developmentally disabled. So a peer support specialist is someone who is, maybe somebody that may not be as high on the spectrum, but they can communicate, and other people that are developmentally disabled, they can relate and they can talk to each other and basically be like a shoulder for them.
Okay.
I'm like the middleman. I'm the case manager. I like I said, I coordinate all their appointments or whatever, and things like that. And then I'm the go between them, the counselor, and the doctor. The
Okay.
counselor or the therapist, they're the person that they tell all their problems to, and they
Okay.
and the counselor advises them, and then the counselor gives all of their information to the doctor, and the doctor writes, or the psychiatrist, they write their prescriptions.
Okay. What I really want to get into is, if you don't mind, our topic today is mental health, and I want to ask you about the situation that you have got into, about how you winded up the way you are, and I wanted to ask you, when that accident happened to you, and was confined to a chair, how did that mess with you mentally?
Whoa, that's deep. Okay, so when this happened to me, it was '01, and so yeah, it was a hard pill. I mean, I went from being, you remember, I went from being, up and about.
Yeah.
Uh, I was in school, I was
Yeah.
doing my thing, and then this happened. It was like, and then I was talking about getting married to my old lady. We just had a baby. My baby was 3. I'm 3 months old. And then this happened, and then what I'm saying, I went from not being able to walk. And hey, I'm on a podcast. I'll talk to you later. I'm on a podcast. Talk to you later. Excuse me.
No, it's okay.
You cool.
Is that what made you get into your field, though? Is that what kind of made you get into your field?
Yeah. Because when I was in the hospital, my social worker said, because I was going to school for teaching, and then he was like, "Well, maybe you might want to consider social work," and so that's when I switched my major.
So, let me ask you this. So, once everything is going on, what I'm saying, because stuff happened in a blink of a second, what I'm saying, like you said, you was in school doing your thing, about to marry your old lady, having a baby, and then boom, this happened. So at that point, you're in the hospital and stuff. Like, did you go into like a depression?
Big
Did you?
time.
Okay, can you relate
Yeah.
more on that?
Okay. So I get out the hospital, and mind you, I'm 24. My old lady 21, and she is like, we basically just starting to begin adult. Well, especially her. I jumped off the porch early, but she
Right,
is
right.
and she just not basically, well, even though she had a kid, we both basically are just now getting ready to experience adulthood. Her more so me, her more so me.
Right.
And so she, it was a shock to her. I can't take care of myself. I got to depend on, and that was a lot for her. So, she had to split. She felt like she couldn't do it. So that definitely sent me into a big depression. I contemplated suicide. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot. And so what kind of brought me out of that, you know what I'm saying? I got my friend circle was big.
Right.
So they brought me out of that. And then once I got out, and I'm gonna tell you this, once I got out and found out that I could still, can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. We can hear you.
Okay, once I got out and found out. Once I got out and yeah, I can hear y'all. Just making sure. Let me know you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
once I got out and I knew I was still
Oh,
He went out.
yeah. Well,
He'll be back in a moment, I'm sure, you guys.
yeah. So, yeah, I've been knowing Al for a long time, and like I was saying earlier, from him going like, if anybody that know Al was like the comedian, the life of the party, you know what I'm saying, and seeing him go from that to this, I just wanted to know like where his head was at, you know what I'm saying, because that's a tragic thing to go through. You know what I'm saying? Once you doing this and that, you know what I'm saying? We was young running the streets and then boom, then that happened to you. That I think that has to mess with you way more mentally than anything. You know what I'm saying? And he
hello.
Al, you can
Yo,
hear?
I can hear y'all.
all right.
Okay,
I
so
do
where
want
was
to
I?
ask.
So once I
Go
knew
ahead.
once I knew like women to still be attracted to me, and I was like, okay, I can do this. I start back dating, and I was straight.
So once you got that affection from a woman, that kind of brought you out of your depression.
Yeah, and I started going back out, hanging out and stuff. You know what I'm
Um,
saying? I
Yeah,
talked to
because Al,
hey,
you need to stop for a minute there.
yeah, you know who I talked to? Turf was like, yeah, I know you looked at you know what I'm saying, thought about Bobo because Bobo did his thing back in the day, and I kind of like channel my inner Bobo.
so you took.
Then, yeah, look.
I got another question for you. Well, I got a couple of questions for you. You know, everybody that know me, I know I come with some questions. But you mentioned before that you was contemplating committing suicide. Um, what kind of like made you like change your mind?
My
Like,
daughter, my daughter, she was
okay,
3 months old, and I mean, man, I didn't grow up with a father, so just the thought of her not having a father and leaving her out here to these streets and these hounds, I wasn't about to do that.
okay. So, um, what 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 is some advice you can give a person that's currently in your situation and they in that depression mode, they want to commit suicide, they just feel down and out about themselves? What's some advice you can give to that person?
So in between me finishing school, I did peer mentoring at the Rehab Institute over there on Mac, because that's where I did my physical therapy, when you know, my inpatient and my outpatient physical therapy. And what you do is you go in and you talk to people who ended up, you know, in a predicament that you did. So what I do is my advice to someone who, you know what I'm saying, ended up you know, getting paralyzed or whatever, get out and get outside and enjoy life. Don't sit in the house and get depressed. That first year, it was that first year that really messed me up. That first year, I was getting like, my chair was breaking. That first year, well, the way insurance work, them first 6 months you got to wait on insurance um to pay for your wheelchair. So that first year, I'm in a loaner wheelchair that I can't push, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm stuck in the house.
Mm.
I'm just sitting there. All you sitting there. All you left with is your thoughts. You know what I'm saying. My sister was taking care of me, but she got a life. So she, she doing her thing. She only 18.
Right.
So she got it. So she doing her thing. So all I can do is sit there and watch TV. So you trapped with your thoughts, and so my advice is get outside, get to meeting people, get to meeting people that's just like you. I'm in a spinal cord injury support group, and we talk to each other about our problems. We talk about the things that we have to go through, and we share resources. So the big thing with being in a wheelchair is knowing your resources and being able to you know like you're gonna need catheters, you may need a hospital bed, you may need all kind of stuff to just for your activities of daily living. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need to know people who went through the trials and errors before you. So that's the big thing right there.
Okay. So, you know, and when we was growing up and stuff, you was out doing your thing and all that and stuff. So, you was a back in that day, you was a thought. You know,
You still want to the top. Don't tell him.
you was a thought back in the day. So, did did your did this bother you too? That what I'm saying, like, if I can ask, sexually, did that bother you too as well? Did that mess you with your head mentally as well?
Yeah. No, well, I was able to perform. I couldn't pound you out, but I didn't have no problem with erection, so that didn't bother me. That shit ain't happened till a couple years ago, where this motherfucker was like, wah, wah.
Oh man, you silly, man. You silly. We got any questions? Anybody else got any questions?
I do. So I have some because I want to I want his advice to certain people because due to the fact that I do know a lot of people myself, like currently, like it's been a lot of death. Like it's been a lot of death lately, from friends to children to parents, and just wondering, like, in your field that you work, I know that you see that probably with some of your patients that go through that. Like, what do you feel like maybe some of the ways a person can handle that, or try to start to figure out a way to get through it the best way so it doesn't overtake
So when it comes to suicide, uh, a lot of people think that people are weak, but that's not the case. Really, what it is people, they don't have a lot of time. Well, sometimes they don't have someone to talk to, and it's the pain that's just built up to where the pain has just become so immense that just can't take it no more. So I don't think it's a question of being strong or weak, but my advice to them would be to seek out help and think about the people that you leaving and what it's going to do to them.
Mm.
And uh yeah, that mean that's pretty much my advice in a nutshell. Just think about what you leaving, and it's always, even if you don't have anybody to talk to, you don't have family members, even, you know what I'm saying, because some people it's just them.
Do you think they need to talk to somebody though? You think they definitely need to talk to somebody?
Yeah, that's where I was going. You gotta. It's always somebody. You got the suicide prevention. You got. I mean, because back in 2001, we ain't had the internet, so it wasn't. You didn't have like Facebook where you could have friends that you have never even met. But now you can make friends you never even met. You can. I mean, you always got the therapist. You can talk to a therapist on your phone, or you can FaceTime your therapist now. So is there a ton of more resources than there was back you know what I'm saying, when I was going through my depression. But just seek help. That's all I say.
Do you feel as a black man though,
It's a stigma.
that it's harder to go and talk or seek help because of their? Do you feel like black men feel
Yeah,
like it's not okay to go talk to somebody?
absolutely. It's culturally we are programmed to feel like you're supposed to be strong and you're supposed to just stomach it and fight through it. Even if you're fighting through it by yourself, that's just how we have been culturally conditioned. But that couldn't be farther from the truth.
Do we got any comments? Anybody? No comments?
Just Leslie said, "Hey." Greg said, "We don't reply to comments, but not too much. People just kind of listening. Anybody got any questions for Al? If you're going through something regarding like advice, you think something like that in that route. Um, I do
Wait a
feel
minute.
like as a
Wait a minute.
the black culture itself as a whole doesn't really sometimes feel like going to psychiatrist or a therapist or talking to somebody is necessarily the best thing. We sometimes feel like we can get through it on our own. And I feel like sometimes when that happens, we blow up. That you eventually blow up and you snap because you don't feel like it's okay to talk to somebody. And I feel like sometimes it's better to talk to somebody you don't know because
Definitely.
you don't have to worry. You're not going into it with no matter what, with no type of them maybe even having any judgment to you because they don't know you, so they
Absolutely.
can't judge you. They can only judge you off what you're telling them. But we don't
Absolutely right.
do it.
Mm-hmm. I want to say that I want to tell my story about my mental health. Like in 2019, you know what I'm saying, I lost my mom February 3rd, 2019. And I thought I was gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was gonna be all right. But as the days went on, you know what I'm saying, I found myself just being like in a cocoon. You know what I'm saying? Like when I get home, I stopped hanging out. Um Sometimes I ain't answering the phone. I just stayed in my room to myself.
He froze.
I stayed in my room. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
froze for a second.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
I stayed in my room to myself. So I was wondering like what the hell I'm going through. So I had to look up. I looked up depression, and all the symptoms of depression I found myself going through. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even talking to my sister at the time. You know what I'm saying? Even though we experienced the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And felt the same pain. You know what I'm saying? But at the same, I wasn't even saying anything to her. You know what I'm saying? I would just stay secluded to myself, and I was going through depression, and I didn't want to deal with nobody at all. You know what I'm saying? At all. I just went to work. Even when I was at work, I ain't talked to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kept, Kareem, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? I just stayed to myself, and I felt like I was a loner at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because um, when you lose a parent, it's nothing like is I just felt crushed. You know what I'm saying? I lost my dad when I was 17. You know what I'm saying? That was a real hurtful for me. But I was 17. But as I got older, I lost my mom. I felt like I lost everything. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
I,
Because your mom is there when you scared. Who you call on? Your mama. When you're in a tight bind, who you call on? Your mama. When you need $20 for gas for the car, who you call? Your mama. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And I just felt like I lost my world. You know what I'm saying? And I always try to be the strongest person in my family. But when that happened, I became the weakest person. You know what I'm saying? And so I was grateful for everybody calling and checking up on me and stuff, but I just felt like, some people that never experienced a parent's death, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't never experienced that, you know what I'm saying? It's like I just felt like it's nothing you could tell me. I mean, I'm grateful for you checking on me, but it's like I just felt is anything that come out your mouth, you can't. It's not gonna make me feel any better. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of angry too, so I uh I had to pray on it to try to get myself up out of that deep, deep, dark hole I was in. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even going on dates or nothing, anything. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even want to talk to a woman or nothing. I just wanted to be by myself and stuff. And I watched some X videos and got myself through. And you know what I'm saying? But then I prayed on it. And I said, skip it. Let me try to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it was a lot on my chest. I had to get out. You know what I'm saying? If you just keep letting it stay in you, it's gonna be a hinder to you
Hindrance,
on
right?
you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I got me a notebook. I started writing stuff down. You know what I'm saying? And that really helped. And then not only that, just talk to people that experience the same thing you experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I talked to Alex, I talked to Jonte. You know what I'm saying? And they was a big help with me through that. You know what I'm saying? Because they experienced the same thing I experienced. So I would just want to tell people when you experience death that close to you, especially like a parent. You know what I'm saying? um you have to talk. You have to talk. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna eat at you. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna find yourself depressed. I was depressed as hell. I wasn't even eating nothing. Through that, I lost like 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like giving up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And so I just had to write stuff down, talk to people, and that really helped me out a lot. And then casually I started back getting out in the world, going here and there. Met a female. She helped out a lot. So I just want to tell people you just have to talk and communicate with people that experience the same thing you experience to get it off your chest, so you won't have to go in a dark hole like I have. So mental health is real out here, for real, for real.
Yeah, I lost my mom in 2011, and like you said, mama gonna be there when ain't nobody there for you, man. All the time, and all the time she came and got me out of jail, man. Uh, she helped my sister take care of me.
I can't hear
All
y'all.
that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
That's me, because I can hear him. I can hear you, Al.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Might
Where
be
you at,
rain.
Ray? You hear us? Oh,
It'll come right back to me.
okay. Well, like I
I
was.
don't know. I just go ahead.
Oh, like all them times she came and got me out of jail, all that kind of stuff. You missed that. And you take your ring.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I lost my mom in 2011, and I took her for granted, man. It's so much stuff I wish I could do over with her. Cause but she saw me graduate college, so you know what I'm saying. And then let me tell you this: what got me over her dying. My uncle is a pastor, and during her service, he said while he was saying doing her eulogy or whatever, he said that he kind of like pointed out he kind of like singled me and my sister out and said that she is no longer going through pain because my mama will wake up and wish she was dead,
Mm.
and he was like, she don't feel pain no more. and you know, she going to be with her maker, and you should feel solace with that, and that kind of brought me through it because I witnessed her decline. And
Yeah, man, it's a lot. Like I tell a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? You only got one mama, one daddy, man. It's just you got to share every moment with them. You know what I'm saying? Even if y'all don't have the best relationship, man, just connect with each other. You know what I'm saying? Talk, communicate with each other every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Personal stuff. I want to know. You mind me asking you what reasons do you feel like you have regrets with your mom? Like what
I
regrets? What why
just
why
just doing
why
that, just doing all that street shit and watching her cry and my family judging her, feeling like she didn't do right as a parent. You know what I mean? Um, and just wishing I would have did a whole lot of stuff different, so that she would have, so that I would have made her proud growing up, instead of being a full on adult and then finally making her proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like as a parent, you know, you want to see the best for your child, you know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
um you raise your child the best of your ability, the best you can. But if they choose the lifestyle they choose, you know what I'm saying, you did all you could at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're
You know
right.
what I'm
You're
saying?
right.
But
Because
you know,
we was short on money, and that's what lured me to the street. We was short on money, but we wasn't short on love. And you know, we my mother didn't, like, people, like her mother wasn't really like nurture. Well, she was nurturing, but she wasn't. She didn't. My mother had a weight problem, and my grandmother was stern with her about it, instead of, you know what I mean, instead of she didn't like call her, hey, you fat, you this, that, and the other, but she was kind of strict, you know, on her about her weight. And my mother, and that took my mother down the rabbit hole of depression. And you know, so that you know, my mother grew up, she as strong as she was, she suffered from clinical depression, and that and she suffered from that throughout her whole life. And so, and me, the shit that I didn't do nothing but compound on that. And you know, that bothers me even today.
Let me read this comment. It goes along with what I was saying. It's from Lindsay Henson. Mental health is definitely real. My son has been going through depression and suicidal thoughts for a year now. I don't know what I would do if my son took his life. I definitely got him some help and somebody to talk to.
What's her name again?
Lindsay Henson.
Okay, Lindsay.
Get him to get him some help.
Get talking to somebody.
Yeah, because a lot of that has to do with them not being able to be in school and being around their peers. Get him some help, and get him around, and get him and like, y'all as a family, just put your arms around him.
Right.
Don't judge him. Right. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't you got to handle him with kid gloves.
Yeah. Yeah, well, get his uncles, some older uncles, older cousins around him. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that almost might become a problem, because I know my uncles I had them uncles that punched you in your chest when they thought you was acting like a little punk. So that could turn around, and you know, you gotta go through the people that be around them with a fine tooth comb. Cause you don't want them, man. You don't want them to be like, boy, quit being a little punk. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that.
Right. That's true.
You want the right people to talk to.
Yeah, I ain't hear you, Ab.
I said she wants the right people to talk to him, not anybody.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. You had the right people talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Like talking to somebody that, like I said, that helped me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm quite sure you get the right person around him to talk to. I'm guarantee it's gonna help. You know what I'm saying? It
Greg
that
said, use your degree, Al.
Hi.
Greg said, tell you to use your degree.
So Mike, you had any mental health issues or anything?
Quiet.
Well, I was I'm just sitting back listening because it's just a lot that's dealing with now. Because my nephew committed suicide.
Mm,
Matter of fact, I think it may be about a month now that he took his life. And all this time I'm thinking everything was well, all is okay, and things like that. And then you find out that all wasn't okay. You get a call saying that he's gone and he took his life. Um, Me, as far as myself and everything, it got me in a. I've been in like a rabbit hole since 19. I've been in a rabbit hole myself since 19. When my grandmother passed, I went in a rabbit hole and been trying to dig myself out of the rabbit hole because because when I lost her, I felt like I lost everything.
mm,
Yeah, I have my wife, I have family and everything, but my grandmother was everything. And when I lost her, I felt like I lost everything. So I just, so it took me into what I call a rabbit hole. And it's like after the rabbit hole, after that, you get COVID. And then I started losing family members during COVID.
mm,
And it's like soon you start digging yourself out of the rabbit hole, um, something else will happen. And now this has happened and everything. I just wish that he would have had somebody to talk to because all this time I'm thinking that all was well, everything is going well. I'm in Jersey, so you in Jersey, I'm on the other side of the planet, and I'm not in Detroit, and so I
mm,
don't know a lot of things that's going on in Detroit. So so I would say get somebody to talk to. First thing, because when you start saying mental health and different things like that, the first thing we do is we put our judgment hat on, and we, we start judging that person. We start looking at that person a different way, like, like he's different. He's this and he's that. No, he's the same person, just had a problem. We got to know how to talk to people because a lot of times with me, I hate talking. I know it
mm,
seems like I like talking, but when it comes to personal things, I hate talking. I rather process it and deal with it myself. I'm
mm.
not, so I'm not suicidal or anything like that. But what I'm saying, but it's like a rabbit hole, trying to dig yourself out of the rabbit hole, trying to process a lot of things, trying to process this, trying to process that, trying to figure out, wow, my nephew took his life.
Mm.
He took his life, and then you talk to family, and it's riled up because it's fresh. This just happened a month ago. So, so I would say to anybody that's going through any mental health issues, mental health in the family and everything, get some help. Get some help for that person, no matter what it costs. Get some help for that, for somebody said it's professionally, for that person to talk to and everything, because life is so short. You only get one shot at life. Once you gone, you gone. I don't care nothing about all this other stuff they talk about. Once you're gone, you're gone. You only get one shot at it. And you don't want a person to leave here and you got regrets like, oh my God, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that.
Absolutely.
I wish I would have, I wish I would have did this. I wish I'd have reached out because my nephew stayed with me 7 years ago. And here it is now. I'm like, what I'm saying, what did I do wrong? He took his life, but I'm asking myself a question. Was I a good uncle to him? What did I do wrong when I didn't do nothing wrong? What did I do wrong and different things like that and everything, because it plays in your mind that, that somebody, saying that somebody actually suicide is real. I didn't think it was real. Honestly, because it's the first time I met somebody ever that I knew that in my family that took their life. And so suicide, that I'm thinking this thing is real. Suicide is real. So ultimately, get help. Talk to somebody.
Mhm.
Get professional help. Talk to somebody. Talk about it
Absolutely.
because so because there's not a problem that cannot be solved if you get the
Absolutely.
right help for that problem.
Mm. Um, Let me ask you this, Mike. Um, like you said, you not when it comes to personal things, you're not a talker. You like to process it and deal with it, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think by doing that, you keeping yourself in the rabbit hole?
You know what? I've always been my own biggest enemy. Always been that way. I always thought that I can figure it out on my own. I'm not the type of person to ask for help or anything like that. I figure it out on my own. And honestly, that to answer that question, yeah, I keep myself in the rabbit hole because it's because in my mind I'm programmed a different way to think that that I'm gonna be able I'll be able to solve it. I'll be able to solve it. But when it comes to grandma, that's something I can't solve. I know that. That's something that, so that's something that her laying there past is a thought and a vision that I see every day.
Mm,
I don't see her in the coffin because when they can make you look a certain way in the coffin.
right,
But all I see is her laying in that bed and me putting with her mouth open. I see that vision all the time.
right,
All the time I see that vision because again, I have my kids. My kids are my life. My wife is my life. But you know what I'm saying? But grandma, before there was a kid, before there was a wife, there was grandma. And so you know what I'm saying? And so it's again, it's like it's a hard pill to swallow. But me, yeah, I'm my biggest enemy.
mm,
And I have a wife that's a talker that loves to talk and try to talk to me about it.
mm-hmm,
But as soon as I'm surprised that I'm talking this much about it
right,
right now
right,
because as you all saw when we was talking when this subject came up, I was sitting back, I wasn't saying nothing. If you didn't ask me, this whole podcast would have went through. I wouldn't have said nothing but did this at the end.
right, right.
But
So,
Let me read a couple of these comments. Greg says we have to break the stigma of our community that talking about your feelings doesn't make you lame or weird. I agree.
I
And then
totally
Lindsay
agree.
totally
says,
agree.
I just sent this out as a success story. My son has gotten better, but it's still a work in progress. He definitely has counseling and everything. He just had his 16th birthday. But keep my son and family in your prayers. We
Yeah,
absolutely will.
absolutely,
Lindsay.
100%
Sure will.
is.
I mean,
Absolutely 100% will keep you in your
I totally agree
prayers.
with what Greg
Um,
said. And to the other comment, the young lady,
oh wait, get Al back in. My bad.
Yeah, he's yeah,
um,
Al, thank
that's a
you.
definitely a
yeah,
success story. What Lindsay's saying is definitely a success story and everything because there is the progress and he's getting better. That's the best news of the day to me because when you put on there 16,
hmm,
that's a baby to me. And so a
exactly,
baby that has not lived life yet. And so, and so I commend you for getting him the help that he deserves, that he desperately needed and deserved to have. And you're seeing the progress of it because he got the necessary help that he needs. So
right,
I definitely commend you and him.
right. I'm commend her too. But I also want to say this to you though, Mike. Like the piggyback on what you were saying that what I'm saying you really don't talk about it and stuff. And you said if I ain't asked you the question, you'd have just been quiet. So I want to say to you is that it's a good thing that you're talking about it now. That's a small step right there. You know what I'm saying? To get out the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you or even speaking on that as much as you did. You know what I'm saying? Um uh Um, Eba.
Yes.
So, have you been through any form of mental health?
Um, I would say I do think that okay, so back, I was raised by my grandmother and my father. So back when one my whole life I lived on when I in the hood I lived with my grandma and my dad. So and when my grandma literally just out the blue, I came home one day, she didn't look good. I sent her to the hospital. She died. She never came home. I buried her, and a week after I buried her, my dad literally I came home, same situation. He just didn't look right. I took him to the hospital, and they told me that he had gotten ulcers, and he died 6 weeks later in the same hospital with the same doctors my grandmother had just died from. And I think what happened with me at that point was my mental was just, I don't want to deal with it. I just completely blocked it out to the point where I just didn't think about it. And I think it has I do think it still has affected me to this day because I'm very cold with with I'm not affectionate with anything. Like I try, like I know some of my friends sometimes be like, damn, some horrible things, something happened, and I'm just like, and my heart is hurting me, but I don't think I show it. I do think that with the way I dealt with it was like, okay, wait, because not only did I lose her, I lost everything. I lost the house we lived in on Taylor. I immediately had to go from a child because even though I was grown, my grandmother still took care of me and my kids. I had 2 kids. She took care of me, my dad, and then I felt the weight of. I remember my dad saying to me because he was sick. My dad was like mentally ill a little bit, and I remember him when my grandma was sick, and him asking me, "Ebony, are you going to take care of me?" And I
Mm,
remember saying yes to him. And when he died, and the doctor telling me that he that some people die from a broken heart. The doctor said that to me because he knew he had just took care of my grandmother. He said some people die from a broken heart, and I truly believe that your father died from a broken heart. And it
mm,
hurt me for years because I felt like he didn't trust me. He didn't
mm,
believe that I would take care of him. He didn't believe that I was going to make sure he was okay and keep a roof over his head just like my grandmother did and made sure he ate and make and I was and I think it has made me kind of like why I'm so cold today because I'm still very cold. I think a lot of people tell me that all the time, like after you are even do you deal with me like I'm your homeboy or like when stuff happens, I don't know how to show affection to people, even in the
mm,
worst situations. Like I don't, I'll venture away from it and won't call you, won't talk to you because I don't know what to say. I don't know how to because I don't show affection. When my mom be sick, she being like, my mom was just sick and I like she was on a ventilator and it was tearing me apart, but I didn't I stayed away because I don't know how it was just like I just gotta deal with it. Like, okay, she's sick, this is a part of life. I gotta deal with this shit.
mhm. So,
That's a coping
so Al.
mechanism. I mean, it, some people some people use, I mean, people have all types of coping mechanisms. That's one of them. To
Right.
disengage.
Mm, mm. So let me ask you this, Al, about what Ebony was saying. Is that like uh um a form of like is that like a form of mental health? Like when you can't deal with something, you kind of like how Homer Simpson go inside the bushes, you just kind of
Yeah,
fall
well,
back.
yeah, that's why. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. That's just it's a coping mechanism. I mean, to disengage. That's
Mm,
what that is. That's the way.
mm.
I mean, you got all types of coping mechanisms. That's one of them. Disengagement.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me ask you this, Al. today, 2022, how is your mental health?
I have like I said earlier, I got a like you one of my friends. I got a close knit of friends, and a lot of them they keep me going. I have my days, but I'm kind of y'all okay. Y'all know I'm silly as hell, but um I'm introverted too, so I like being alone for the most part. So I cut on the TV. Me and Ebony, we talk TV shows all the time. I turn on one of my TV shows and I'm good. So if I'm up from between from five from 5 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, I'm watching TV, and then Friday and Saturday I'm in the street, and then Sunday is the same routine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm I end up getting laid off from work, so I'm chilling right now. So between I mean, my day is consumed TV, sleep, and doing it all over again the next day.
Okay, okay.
And let me tell y'all something. If
And
y'all
I'm
want
good
some
with
good
that.
TV shows, Al will put you up on the best TV show. So Al still got me sitting there watching episodes of Game of Thrones. Okay, and I done probably watched this series 3 times. He will put you up on some
You
good
got to.
shit. I'm telling you. He will have you sitting in front of TV for 3 days straight. That's what I'm saying. He the shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Ebo, how is your
Yeah.
mental health going today,
I'm about to
2022?
tell you, let me read these 2 comments. Nakisha Brown, you got numb and shut down. I did. I probably did. I know. And Greg, Greg, he talking to you, Al. I would like for Buddy to get a lamp.
Yeah.
So,
Still got that
um,
problem, dog.
Mhm.
I thought this was gonna do it, but nope.
it's
He
right.
got
We
the
go
Green
wrap it
Lantern
up.
lamp.
Stuff. My mental health right now is like I came to Detroit, and it's like I have friends that I have to see, that have recently lost their parents, their children. I went inside with one of my friends earlier today, who just recently lost her son, her oldest child, and
Mm,
I think it's about a month ago. And to see my friend, I've known this young lady probably before I had kids, and I've known her child, and to sit there with her today, and I could see that, just to see the hurt my friend was going through. I wish that I could take some of it away from her, off of her chest, and it did bother me. It really just was like, wow. And I still have 2 other friends here that I have to go see, because one lost their mother, and one lost their child. Another one lost their child.
mm.
And I still have to go. I have to see these people before I leave. So I'm working on my mental right now, but my biggest concern right now is my friends' mental, and um just want to get to them and love on them a little bit, and just let them know I don't know what you're going through. I never want to be the friend to tell anybody, hey, I know what you're going through. Are you okay? I'm not gonna ask them are they okay, because I know they're not okay. I
Mm.
don't want to ask them. I don't want to be a friend to be like, I know what you're going through. I haven't lost my mom. I haven't lost a child, so I don't know what they're going.
Mm.
I don't really know how you feel at times, Ring. I can't. I'm not gonna ever be that friend to sit here and tell you I know what you feel like. I don't. I hope I don't want to know. I don't want to know what you feel like. I know one day I have to face that reality that I will, but right now I just want to kind of focus on my friends and their mental, and just let them know I love them, and kind of love on them, and then I deal with my mental later.
Mm. Mm. Well, I mean,
You know what? Let me say this right quick. with losing a parent, and Mike, I know you're a real spiritual person, and I consider myself a real spiritual person. I think what people forget is that death is a blessing for that person, um, because they don't have to go through the turmoil of what's here on earth. And if you're a spiritual person, and I wholeheartedly believe that when they say you're going off to a better place, I wholeheartedly believe that. So and that got me through with my mom.
Mhm.
Well, it's me. I think as far as with my grandmother and everything, it's the selfishness in me
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
because she always told us that she going on to a better place. Always told us that,
Mhm.
and she lived 105 years. So so when you cross over 100, and I used to tell her, I was like, what, you too stubborn to die. I like, you been saying that since we was kids. And here it is. I'm well up in adulthood. You still ain't went nowhere. I'm like, you too stubborn to die. But you know what I'm saying. But when it happened, and it's that selfishness in me because I just always wanted her to be here because if I it's that shoulder that I need to cry on. If anything, Miss Smith gonna be there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If anything, she may cuss me out. I mean, but she gonna be there. And then when that left, when
Mm-hmm.
she left, and then you fast forward, and then my cousin leave,
Mm.
and then you fast forward a little bit more, my another cousin leave, my mother-in-law leave, my father leave a month apart. And what I'm saying, but then nephew and all these in between, then it come down then to my nephew most recently. But it all goes back to my grandmother. Because before that, anybody passed and everything bounced back quick, no problem. I understand, I read the Bible, I understand all that. So it was nothing. But when it hurt, it just hit a different way. So as far as me mentally,
definitely.
I say I'm okay. I'm always say, hey, we all gonna say we okay. But honestly, I think I do need to talk to somebody because you know what I'm saying, because it affects me in ways because I snap. I just snap anyway, but I really snap now.
Mm.
I got my filter. I don't even know what a filter is no more.
Hmm.
I just snap like crazy, like just go nuts.
Right.
And with no filter, nothing, don't care. I had a little filter, just a little bit back, but now it's no filter. So and my wife been saying you need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to somebody because because it's affecting you. It's affecting you. You don't see it, but it's affecting you. She said all the time, and I just sit there and look at her, just like I'm looking at this camera in my mind, like you don't know what you're talking about, but she right. I need to talk to somebody.
It's always good to listen to a black woman.
My wife white. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Stop.
I want
I'm just kidding. My
we
wife
gonna
is not white. So let me stop that. Because she looking at the
gotcha.
podcast. She looking at us.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah,
Hey,
gonna get
she watching us.
hey, Miss Smith.
She probably in the car because she out in the driveway right now. She's probably on this sneaking on here, trying to hear what we talking about.
Oh, hey, Miss
He got
Smith.
a wife.
Uh,
Yeah.
let me
um
say one thing. Eb, as far as my mental right now, um, it's better than it was 6 months ago. Um, I pray a lot. Um, one thing I could say keeps me steady. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know I don't got no kids, but my niece, she keeps me level. You know what I'm saying? Cause she
Oh, you got
always,
a kid.
cause she on my head. She always checking on me. You know what I'm saying? All the time. So my mental is real good right now. I must say.
I want to read a comment, y'all. We are going to go ahead and wrap up, but I want to read this comment though first. It's from Brian Gaywood. I know Brian Gaywood. It says, I was 9 and my cousin was 6 and dies in the bed with me. Then I was
Mm.
17. My grandmother dies. Then I am 24 and my 2.5-year-old daughter gets killed in a house fire. Then at 44, my grandmother dies. Then at 50, my mother dies. And there are many others of my family members and friends that have died over the past 4 to 5 years. So I know how bad it is to deal with death and depression. But I knew when I felt myself going into that dark place, I went and got professional help. And I enjoy the times when I talk to my professional about my thoughts. Black people have issues with going to get help, but they should get out of that. We live in a different world now. There's a lot more help out there, and you have to go get it. There is no shame in getting help. That could save your life. I am 58 now and living life with a more open mind. And then Lakeisha says, I as well struggle with joint emotions.
Mm.
Okay. All right, Brian.
How do you see the? Are you looking at comments? Oh, you must be on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on. No, I'm on everything. We're on YouTube. We're on my Facebook page. We're streaming on the Sip and Tea page. So
I
I'm
want to
just going
say,
back to all the pages.
what's the gentleman name again? Ebo
Brian Gatewood.
Brian. I would just want to say, man, you um to go through all that, I'm gonna say you're a strong brother. You know what I'm saying? I salute you by by all means, man. That's a lot to go through, and for you to seek help and talk to somebody, man, that was a great deal that you needed to do, and I salute you on that too, because somebody going through all that through that time of different times in their lives and lost a kid and everything, man. I salute you, my brother. I salute you. Stay strong.
Hey,
Keep your prayers up. Keep your faith, man.
also, we might want to stay on after we go off of here for a second because I'm looking at something and this don't look right.
Okay.
What? You say something?
Well,
No,
you got
no, I see. So when we ended, I'll say something about it once we end it. But I'm seeing something that don't
you
condone
guys. I
something.
still want to go ahead. We're gonna wrap it up. It's our time. I want to thank you so much, Al, for coming on and giving us talking with us, and then as well giving your some great advice to people. I truly appreciate that. Thanks, Reem. My co-host, my guys are awesome. Until next week, you guys have a wonderful, blessed, beautiful, awesome, amazing week. And hopefully I don't get stuck in Detroit because they just told me it's about to be a fucking snowstorm.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 14 inches there.
And my flight leave 11 o'clock Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, you gonna be stuck.
Oh, you stuck. You gotta stay. Get ready. You stuck.
You might as well get your comforter
You
ready.
probably you stuck.
Al. Hey, Al.
What
All
up,
right,
though?
love you, Toya.
Come
Thank you,
stay with
everybody, for
me.
tuning in.
Yeah.
Greg, Leslie, all
Love you,
our
Al.
great comments. Thank you, guys.
All right, y'all.
Thanks again. I'm about to end the live stream, and we're out.
Peace out, y'all.